In this tutorial, we'll take on the role of a workbook author and learn how to create and use year-over-year calculations in Oracle Fusion Data Intelligence, or FDI. Year-over-year calculations compare a metric like year, quarter, or month from one year to the same period from the previous year. It can help identify growth trends or anomalies in the data. I'll begin in the workbook using my Financials GL Profitability subject area to compare revenue performance from a specific time period to the same period from the previous year. In this canvas, I have filters from the last 5 fiscal years, 2020 through 2024. I'm excluding the adjustment period to focus specifically on operational revenue and the U.S. primary ledger. On the data pane, I'll right-click my calculations and select Create Calculations to open the Create Calculations dialog. In the expression editor, I'll search for and apply the ago function. The ago function simplifies comparison by aligning each period in the current year with the corresponding period from the previous year. I'll build the expression with revenue as the measure. On the data pane, I'll expand time and then fiscal calendar hierarchy to add fiscal year as the time level and 1 as the offset. This shifts the revenue by 1 fiscal year. I'll name this calculation, validate, and then save it. I'll create a table visualization displaying fiscal year, revenue, and year-ago revenue. These large numbers aren't easy to read, so I'll create a chart visualization to compare revenue trends over the 5-year period. On the data pane, I'll right-click the year-ago revenue calculation and select Pick Visualization to choose the bar chart. Then I'll drag revenue above year-ago revenue and add fiscal year to the x-axis. Now I clearly see the revenue from 2023 is significantly higher than the revenue from the previous year, but I need to know how much bigger it is in relative and percentage terms. To assess the year-over-year revenue performance, I'll create 2 additional calculations. The first calculation will take the current year's revenue and subtract the prior year's revenue minus year-ago revenue. I'll name this year-over-year revenue. The second calculation will divide the absolute change by the previous year's value, year-over-year revenue divided by year-ago revenue. I'll name this year-over-year revenue percentage. I'll add these 2 calculations to the table. I'll adjust the number format for year-over-year revenue percentage to percentage format. Finally, I'll add quarter and month periods. I'll click the grammar icon, then from the data pane, I'll drag fiscal year from the fiscal calendar hierarchy to replace the current fiscal year. My analysis of the data shows steady growth from 2020 to 2022, with year-over-year growth from almost 2% and just over 3.7%. There was a significant jump in 2023 when revenue surged from $1.2 billion to $5.5 billion, making a 350% increase. There was continued growth in 2024 when revenue further increased by $1.3 billion, 24.51%, reinforcing a strong upward trend. Find additional tips and resources on using Fusion Data Intelligence in the links below.